Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome to English grammar lesson on parts of speech which is called relative pronouns ضمایر موصولی. At the end of this video you will understand and how where to use these relative pronouns. At first let's come to definition of that. Relative pronouns are used to join or connect clauses. یعنی میگن ضمایر موصولی ضمایر هستند که وصل میسازه کلاس ها را با هم دیگر. How? Like these two clauses. First clause, I talked to Ahmad. Ahmad is a teacher. In here we use one of the relative pronouns to join these two clauses. I talked to Ahmad, who is a teacher. Why this is called relative pronouns? Because we use them instead of noun like this. Ahmad is a teacher. Instead of Ahmad, we use who is called relative pronouns. And when we use relative pronouns in a clause, this clause is called adjective clause, like this sentence, who is a teacher. There are some relative pronouns in English. Some of them are called simple relative pronouns and some of them are called compound relative pronouns. First, what are simple relative pronouns? Simple relative pronouns are pronouns that they are used from one word, like who, whom, whose. And the compound relative pronouns are pronouns that they are made from two words, like whatever, whoever, wherever. These are some of the relative pronouns. Now let's come to some examples for each of them. The first example, he is a teacher who will teach the class. There are two clauses in here. When we want to join them, we use one of the relative pronouns. Which one is relative pronoun in here? Who. Let's come to uses of who. Where we can use who in our sentence. When you want to talk about a person as a subject, we should use who, like this. He is a teacher. We want to talk about this teacher. درباره استاد گپ میزنیم. We should use who را استفاده میکنیم که چیسته این دو کلاس با هم دیگر چی کرد؟ وصل کرد. میگه he is a teacher، او یک استادی است. Who will teach the class؟ کسی که خواهد صنف تدریس کرد. Who is one of the relative pronouns. Let's come to second example. Mustafa invited Shuaib, whom he had met in Iran. There are two clauses in here. When we join them, we use one of the relative pronoun whom. Whom is used instead of object like this. Mustafa invited Shuaib, whom یعنی دعوت کرد شعیب کسی که he had met in Iran او را ملاقات کرده بود در ایران. کسی را که ملاقات کرده بود او را دعوت کرد. Third sentence. I saw a man whose name is Samin. Again, there is a relative pronoun in this sentence, whose. Where we can use whose in our sentence when we show the possession. Like من مردی را دیدم کسی که نامش سمیم است. یعنی مرد را که دیدم کسی که نامش سمیم است، یعنی نام مربوط کیست؟ نام مربوط از این مرد است. We use whose in here. Fourth sentence. Kabul is a city which attracts lots of tourists. کابل یک شهری است که جذب میکنه توریستا و جهانگردای زیادی را، سیاحان زیادی را. Again, we use one of the relative pronouns in here, which. Where we can use it when you want to talk about some general things. Like which یعنی کابل شهری است که چی میکنه؟ جذب میکنه بسیار سیاحان را. So, fifth sentence. This is the house where I was born. Again, there's a relative pronoun in here, where. When you want to talk about a place, we should use where. یعنی میگه این خانه است جایی که من تولد شدیم. Where is used about house. یعنی اینجا خانه استفاده کردیم وقتی چی میگیم؟ جایی که we should use relative pronoun where. Sixth sentence. Demand when the concert take place is January. In here we want to talk about the month, the time of something. We should use when. یعنی when وقت استفاده میکنیم درباره تایم گپ بزنیم، درباره وقت یک چیز گپ بزنیم when استفاده میکنیم. مثل که میگه ماه که، یعنی ماه گپ میزنیم، ماه وقت است، باید چی استفاده کنیم؟ when. Seventh sentence. What he gave me as a present made me happy. چیزی که او باعث تحفه مرا داد مرا بسیار خوشحال ساخت. And here we use one of the relative pronoun what باز استفاده کردیم بخاطر که چی را نشان بده درباره یک چیز سوال میکنیم عمومی باشه جنرال. چیزی که بر تو به ما دادی او مرا خوشحال ساخت. What is one of the relative pronouns? Like each sentence, I'm always with you wherever you go. These sentences, all of them were about simple relative pronouns, but this sentence is compound relative pronouns. Why? Because we have used wherever. Wherever استفاده کردیم, it is one of the compound relative pronouns. I am always with you. من همیشه با تو هستم. Wherever you go. هر جا که بری. Some exercises on relative pronouns. Join them with. Stop the video. Do the exercises and replay it. Let's come to first sentence. The new movie is about a boy has lost his parents. There are three choices in here, three options: who, whom, and where. We should use one of them in this sentence. First of all, let's come to where. Can we use where in here? No. Why? Because we want to talk about a boy, a person. When you want to talk about a person, we cannot use where. It is incorrect. Who and whom. When you want to talk about the subject, we should use who. When you want to talk about an object, we should use whom. And here we talk about subject. The new movie is about a boy who has lost his parents. میگه این فیلم درباره بچه‌ای است که فامیل خود را از دست داده. این درباره subject گپ میزنیم. We should use who in here. The second sentence. He is the young man wife left him. In here again we want to use one of the relative pronouns whom, whose, and what. Because in here we have a noun, we want to talk about the possession of something. ملکیت یک چیز نشان میدیم. We should use one of the whom, no, whose, yes, whose can be correct in here. Why? Because we can say he is the young man whose wife left him. میگه مرد جوانی است کسی که خانمش او را ترک کرده. Come to third sentence. That is the book I recommended for you to read. میگه کتابی است که من برات توصیه میکنم تا بخوانیش. In here we want to talk about a book. درباره یک کتاب گپ میزنیم. یک شی است، یک چیز است. Can we use who? Can we use when? When is for time, who is for person. But these are incorrect. We should use which. That is the book which I recommended for you to read. Fourth sentence. Is this the hotel you're staying for tournament? See, there are three choices. What, who, and where. In here we have hotel. We want to talk about a place of something. We should use where. Is this the hotel where you're staying? And here we should use where. The last sentence. My sister was born at a time my dad was out of work. See, in here we have time. We want to talk about the time of something. وقت یک چیز گپ میزنیم. We have a relative pronoun by the name of when. And here we should use when. My sister was born at a time when my dad was out of work. These were all exercises about relative pronouns. I hope that you have learned something from this video. Wish you best of luck.